All right. Uh, how's everybody doing today? Um, so I've been doing a lot of vibe coding lately. For those of you who don't really know what that is, it's essentially we no longer need programmers, or I mean, for the most part, there are AI softwares, or specifically one AI software called Cursor that will allow basically anyone to build anything they want and very, very quickly. What I'm going to do right now for everybody is there's something that's been bothering me for quite some time. And that thing that's been bothering me is that there is just no good options on the internet anymore to sell shit. Um, Craigslist is old and outdated, been around forever, and it's basically a boomer site. And people are meeting people on Craigslist and getting killed, raped, abducted, all kinds of bad things are happening because they tried to meet a stranger on Craigslist and there's no protection or none of that. And then you have Facebook Live, or I'm sorry, not Facebook Live. I mean, Facebook Marketplace, which is a complete joke because people put that things are free just so that you'll click on it, open it up, and then you find out it's not free. And there's people running scams on there. I legitimately tried to sell something on there and it was impossible. And I was getting attacked by people saying that I was scamming because I had eventually sold the product, but on, through another means. And then I said, "Hey, I made this a while ago. It's actually been sold." "Oh yeah, right. You're a scam artist." The guys started like going off on me. And I basically just came to this conclusion where I said, uh, I'm over this shit. Like, there's this app called OfferUp. It sucks. It's riddled with spam. Everybody that's on there has some like, uh, account that you could tell like the name is like some, you know, user from like the Middle East or something. It's not even like a person in America, and they're spamming to make it look like there's activity on it. It's total trash. And so I'm thinking, when an individual wants to sell something, right? When you want to sell, like I have a couple of acoustic guitars I'd like to sell. I've got, an old bicycle maybe, that I'd like to sell. I had a monitor, a computer monitor. I have a laptop that I'm trying to sell currently. And, you know, eBay, right, is kind of like another old boomer crappy thing where, it's clunky and then there's like shipping and like nobody wants to use it. Um and unless you're selling something to someone across the country, it's kind of pointless. What about just selling to someone locally who could just come pick it up and give you cash? And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create exactly what it is that I think needs to be created. So first, what I'm going to do, these are all my notes of everything that I'm trying to do. I sat for about an hour and typed out in full what I vision this website to be, what I want this website to look like, and kind of how I want it to be laid out. And what I'm thinking is, for those of you like, I'm a gamer. I got my inspiration from the World of Warcraft auction house, and so I kind of want to create something like that, but I want to be able to do it in a way where there's complete safety. I want people to be able to sign in and have to use their identification and a face scan software to be able to make sure that you're who you say you are. And I'm going to implement features that are going to allow a person to be safe when they're traveling from one place to another, to go pick up an item. So the buyer and the seller, it's going to basically work like a live auction house. You can you click a button, be able to order something either with a buy now button, or you could bid, and the person with the highest bid, when the bid runs out, closes on the bid, and the user sells the item, and then the money goes into escrow, and then basically when you go pick up the item, right? You basically, it turns into more like an Uber apps type of situation where the buyer and the seller both have to confirm with photos that the item has been exchanged, and that everybody's happy with the quality of the product. And when that happens, the money is released from escrow. And this is going to create a map in the phone that will allow a person to know where the pickup spot is, if there's a pickup location. If it's a drop off, then that will be marked, where a person who's selling an item can decide whether they're going to deliver it to you, bring it to you, whatever. And shipping will be in there too for small things if they just want to mail it. But I decided that this needs to exist for the safety of people, and because there just needs to be something current. So the first thing I did was I went around and let me get off this damn thing here. All right. The first thing I did was I went to GoDaddy, okay, and I was trying to think of like what would be a good domain name. And going into my products here really quick, just take a look here. Guys can see my screen, okay. So if I go to manage all here, okay, and search for it, this is what I came up with. I came up with Bid Junkie, and it was available. I was able to buy this for $10, okay? Now, the first thing I'm going to do to be able to do this and be able to do this quickly is I'm going to go into DNS. Now, the way that websites work is when you buy a domain from GoDaddy, you have to set the DNS settings, for those of you who don't understand this. What that means is I'm going to go to the name servers, because it needs to know where's this domain pointing to, because you could have it point to any place that you want. So right away, what I'm going to do right now, it's pointing to NS15 domain control, which is owned by GoDaddy. We don't want that, because I actually have a server that I pay for. And basically, so if I were to change these, I'm going to change them, hit change. It should just pull it up. But you got, yeah, SiteGround, there it is. I have a server at SiteGround. So I'm just going to change the name servers. Boom, success. So now bidjunkie.com, which I think is a great name, is now pointing directly at where I wanted to, my server, okay? Now I'm going to, let's see, move this over here. Just X out of this stuff here. And let's do this. We're going to, what is going on? Why is this doing this? Hey, there we go. There's the login. Okay, go like that. There we go. All right, now what we need to do, I knew this was going to happen. There we go. Hold on a minute. Okay. Let's go into the websites here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to add a new site. All right. So this is what I'm doing right now, guys, if you want to see. And I'm going to skip and create a blank site. And we're going to say it's an existing domain, and we're going to say it is bidjunkie.com. And I'm going to hit continue. So here we are, getting offered premium backups and email marketing and all that. Don't need it. Not worried about that right now. We're just going to get through here, creating the site. And let's see here. And there we go. There we go. So now, if I go to my list of websites, BidJunkie's right at the top. Now I can go into Site Tools, and if I go to Site Tools and go to, I think first we want to create an FTP. Well, actually, no, because we're going to end up doing something totally different here, actually. So come to think of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to a site called Railway, okay? And what we're going to do on Railway is we're going to create new. We want a new database you have to go to Railway. This is the best place to go to get a database for current. If you're going to use if you're going to build a website using node.js or next.js, which is the cutting edge, top notch, best code you can possibly use with web development, you want to use Railway. Trust me. I can make a whole video about why, but I'm going to spare you, but just trust me, you want to. Now we're going to create a database. This is the first thing that we're going to do. We're going to create this database. And in this situation, we want to do PostgreSQL. Why? Again, that's another whole thing, but it is the best one to use for a lot of the current technologies and stuff. MySQL is common. Most people use it, but it's slow. It's PHP. Postgres is Node, next.js stuff. So we're going to go ahead and create this. We're going to deploy this, and it's going to go ahead and create me my database. Now I'm going to need to get a code that I'm going to copy paste, but I can't let this be visible because if I let this become visible, then what's going to end up happening is it's going to make my secret database key public, and we do not want that. So I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to go connect, and I'm going to hit public network, and I'm going to copy my right there so that I have that, because that is something that cannot be made public. It could be dangerous. Anyway, we'll move this back over here, and now that's been created. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create something called a .env file. It's kind of like envelope, envelope, if you remember it that way. It's a .env file. Very easy to create, but what we're going to do, let me see here. I'm going to put this on, go like this. Thought I might have had one. Let me just look at, if I were to, there we go. And then I could open this, and here we go. All right. So you guys can't see this, and that's good because this has secret keys, information, and stuff in it. So I can't share that, unfortunately. But what I can do, and I will do this in a second, is I'm going to take the information. Let me see. Just for now, we're going to go. Okay. We have to. I'm sorry, guys. This is kind of the hard part because there is information that cannot be seen publicly when you're building a website. It can't be shared with anybody. Unfortunately, we're at that phase, so this is going to take a second. But I'm gonna create like a mock-up of what we're looking at. I suppose I can actually do that now. Hold on a minute. Let me go ahead and duplicate this. If I can create a new file here. There we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that. That will delete all of this. And now I can show you what I'm talking about. So this is a .env file. You can see it now. Okay. That is a .env file. Now, what does this do? It's a text file that's going to show your database URL. You're going to copy paste that, which is the Postgres database link that I got from Railway. Then you're going to put your host information, your port information, your secure information, your user, your password, and so on. I don't even remember what that is. Anyway, this is kind of like your random format of an env file. This information cannot be made public. It's very, very dangerous. So that's the reason why I can't right now. I can't show you what I'm entering on that because I just can't. Okay. Now we do know that we made a domain and it was called Bid Junkie. So we know that that's got to get put in there. I believe all that is true right there. And then, of course, this would also be created. That would be there. And then do no reply. They're asking me for what is going to be the email I'm going to be using for this account. It'll be no reply at BidJunkie. You know, like when you get your no reply emails from companies, from websites and stuff. So now I went and created this. And let's see, I gotta fix that. All right. And now I'm going to save this as a .env file. But I'm not just going to save it anywhere. I'm going to create a folder. And we're going to call this Bid Junkie. Booyah. Just like that. Simple, easy peasy. And now I'm going to take this env file and I'm going to go File, Save As. And I'm going to Desktop here. And we're going to save it to Bid Junkie. Save. And now it's got the env file in it. And that's it. That's it. Now I'm going to show you the cooking. Now we're going to get to cooking up in this bitch. This is where the fun stuff, the fun sets in. So here is my list of, or my walkthrough of everything I really want. And basically it's like, I'm helping build, this is me directing Cursor. You are helping build a startup marketplace platform called Bid Junkie, initially launching as 207. That's not going to be, that won't be the case. I originally was going to do that, but I'm not going to do that. The platform combines Craigslist-style local listings, World of Warcraft auction house bidding mechanics, escrow payments, Uber-style meetup delivery confirmation, safety and fraud prevention systems. The goal is to create a modern, safe, competitive local marketplace where buyers and sellers can trade items with confidence, which is the key. And the key innovation is live competitive bidding for local items combined with secure exchange confirmation. Core product idea. And then it goes on to explain. Now, keep in mind that I sat and I scrambled a bunch of notes and then I asked ChatGPT to go ahead and modify this to make it a little bit more structured and correct for Cursor and for Cursor to know exactly what it is that we're going to make. It only took ChatGPT 2 seconds to do. Now, another thing I'm going to show you is in ChatGPT, I went and I asked it to design a logo. I created a project and I asked it to design a logo, and this was what I settled on. That is what we're making, guys. BidJunkie.com. That is what we're making. I'm going to make that, and we're going to make this official. Absolutely official. So now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this image over and put it on the desktop, and I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to write logo and save it as logo.jpg. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the BidJunkie folder that we have on the desktop over here, which I think is opening up behind. That is so annoying. Opening up behind the live streamer. All right, there we go. There's the .env file I created that is saved in there. Now I'm going to create a folder and I'm going to call it public. Okay. I'm going to call it public. And inside the public folder, we're going to save logo.jpg so it knows what the logo is of the website. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, now that we have that, we want a good background image. Now I have something that I like to use, and that I've used many times. Every single thing that I click on opens up behind the live streamer. It's like driving me insane. Here we go. So I have in this public folder, you'll see I have this background image that we used on another site. I really like this background image. It's really clean, but I don't like the colors, at least not for this. So I'm going to open up, um, Photoshop here, and let's just go like that and then minimize, because now I'm going to open it with this background image. So we're going to open it. We're going to open, let's see here, open with Photoshop. And there we go, baby. There it is. Pretty. It's pretty cool for something else that we did. And I kind of did like it. It's a little stylish. I kind of liked it. But I want to make this a little more green. Green and yellow and not gold and black is kind of the vibe I'm going for. I mean, I want the black, but I'm thinking like we'll probably do, let's make some adjustments. Color balance. We'll go to like, let's see here. We go full green and maybe a little yellow like that. But let's go. Those are the highlights. Let's try, or no, those were the midtones. For shadows, I kind of want it darker. Can we go a little darker? Yeah, like that. And then for highlights, I'm thinking that'll work. If we go back to shadows and maybe make it a little darker, kind of bring out a little more of that green, something like that. That looks a little good. All right. I would say something like that. Now, if I were to take the logo that we have and just drop it in here really quick, let's kind of just gauge really fast what this looks like. Because if we were to, let's get and rasterize this real fast. See, rasterizing it will allow me to delete all that white space. Why is it not? That's weird. Oh, there it is. So now we're going to go ahead and select the white and remove it. Look at that. Booyah. Now we take a look at that logo and, just to be able to give us an idea of what this is going to look like, we're already put on black. We're going to put a black box over it. And basically, I'm going to just kind of put a little bit of an opacity to it so that we can kind of see what this looks like. Let's see here. Put a little drop shadow on this. That will give me pretty much a good idea of whether or not that looks good. I think that'll work. I think it'll work, but I do think that it might be a good idea to, let's see if we can, I feel like some of this up here needs to be, because like we don't want anything like clouding the logo. It's cool to have the graphic around there, but like all the whatever this stuff is, it's cool to have that there, but it will not look good if it's too around the logo. So that way there's just kind of like something like that. So now that I know what that's going to look like, now what we can do is we can go ahead and just, what the, wait a minute. Oh, I see. Because that was underneath the logo. There we go. There we go. And now I'm going to save this and I'm going to go export, save to web. Everything wants to open in the other fucking window. And then we're going to go desktop and see. Now this is a background JPEG and we're going to save it to BitJunkie in the public folder with the logo. Okay. And now we have this folder with a .env file that we created. This basically just has our Postgres database that we created in Railway. And of course, our SMTP email information and things like that, like, you know, our no reply email and different information like that, and database passwords and so on and so forth. And now that that's created in the public folder, we have the background image and we have the logo.jpg. Okay. And that's all we need right now for now. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to open up Word and we're going to copy this entire thing that I had ChatGPT kind of print out for me of my entire idea. And what we're going to do is I'm going to go over to Cursor and we're going to open that actually. I think it's going to open on the side. Everything has been. So we're going to go ahead and move this over here. And now that this is in here, I'm going to go ahead and it's on ask mode right now. We do not want that. Actually, what we're going to do is I'm going to hit file and I'm going to open folder and we're going to select BitJunkie. Because, oh no, that just opened. That's the wrong folder. It just opened up public. Whoops. Open folder. Oh, you just have to go like that. There we go. Now it should open in BitJunkie. Yeah. So you can see what's in it. Yep. It's open in BitJunkie. So now Cursor is going to code this entire fucking idea very quickly. Very quickly. Okay. Now, for the purposes of safety, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to write this command in and it's just going to start coding. I'm going to let you guys see it for a little bit, but then I'm going to have to move it off screen because it's probably going to code certain key phrases and things in it. Actually, no, probably not. I don't think that there'll be anything that is worrisome. Like there's no access to the secret keys or the database or whatever. It's not going to show any of that information. So I think we could actually code and show it live right here. I think we'll actually be okay. So now what I'm going to do is I've copied and pasted the entire idea here. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this off by saying, I want this built or I want this app website built. And then I'm going to say, for now on localhost 3000. Now, what that means is that we're not going to go live. We're not going to build the site and put it directly on the internet for people to look at yet. We're not going to do that yet. We want to get some things in place first. So I'll say with all the core features needed to build the foundation. Meaning we're not going to build we're not going to build the entire thing right now. We're not going to do that. What we're going to do is we are just going to have the basic fundamental vibe going on. And what we're gonna do, I'm gonna say, for design, I want electrolyzed font, which is one of my favorite fonts. I'd say anywhere between 12 and 16 pixels. Okay. For colors, and this is what we're gonna do. I want, what do I want? If we open, did I close? No, I was gonna say I thought I had Photoshop still open. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna pull up the logo again, and I'm gonna enlarge it, and we're gonna go like this. So we know we want why is this doing this? Oh, this is so annoying. Now the color picker opened up behind the live stream window. It's so fucking annoying. Okay, so there we go. So now we have the color here, and I'm gonna go like that. That's roughly about what I'm looking for, right about there. So I'm gonna say I want that. I'm actually gonna, yeah, minimize this and say for the colors, I want that used. I want that. And I want like this color gold. It's a good color right there. That. And I'm going to say I want the font colors and links to mainly use, we're actually going to go with something that's a little different than this. We're actually going to also include something like that, like a bright, almost neon green. And actually, you know what? We'll say anything, or to mainly use these colors, and it's bam, bam, and bam. Okay. For the background containers, make them black with slight opacity, rounded corners. All right. And then I'm going to say use the logo.jpg and the background.jpg located in the public folder, and use the information. Whoops, I'm not the best typer. Use the information in the .env file. Now, I'm gonna go to Word again, copy and paste the whole idea, and I'm gonna stick it in here. Bam. And now I'm set to agent. Okay. So now the whole idea has been pasted in here of what I'm looking for a website, what I'd like it to do. And it's given a little bit of information as to, you know, what I want. Okay. For like design. and I'm going to hit this. Now watch this, guys. This is where shit just goes absolutely berserk. Are you ready? Booyah. It's finding the electrolyze folder or the electrolyze um, font files. There it goes. It's creating the next.js starter project. This is going to take a minute. But it's going to sit here and it's going to do its thing. And it's going to code me everything that I just asked it to. Very fast. Looks like it says copying starter files into workspace, preserving assets. Hey, what's up, Eric? How we doing, dude? Just doing a little live vibe coding, dude. Having fun doing it too. And I can't thank you enough for putting me on game with Cursor, bro. That was a really good look. And it's installing all the dependencies. I mean, it's pretty crazy what this thing can do. Just to give you guys an example, right? Since we're here, this is a website that I made. I'm making a gamer forum. And here's a website that I made right here. That for people to be able to discuss video games, because I'm a super huge video game fan. I have a video game YouTube channel and I love doing, gaming and stuff. In fact, in less than 2 hours, Crimson Desert comes out, and I'm pretty excited about that. And that's going to be really fun. Hey, what up, Roman? How you doing, man? How we doing, bud? I'm vibe coding. So this is a site that I made. I also made, and you'll see that I borrowed the exact same format here to make this. This is a database for my company that I made, and it's the same exact outlay, but completely different. What's going on behind the scenes is totally different, but it looks similar on the front. And as you can see, there's no main page here. There's nothing here like there was, like there was in Pullagro. If we were to go back here, you can see this is here, this has nothing. You can also see this is like thinner menus. This is, bit wider menus, like little differences, but, and then when you log into this is a completely different gamer forum setup. I mean, or this website is completely designed completely different than the way this database works. This database has like rows of information, like leads and database information. That's not what this is. This is more like you could click on something and you can make a post, and it's kind of like Reddit. It's kind of like a Reddit site. And I was able to build this like really quickly. I made this in like 5 hours, and that's for sure. Look at this. Here it is. You can see it's coding. Look at this. It's coding everything that we asked it to code, and we're gonna sit here and just let it do its thing. I hope you guys. What do you guys think of this logo? Pretty good, right? Bid Junkie. I couldn't believe this domain was available, especially for $10. because domains are like a ripoff right now. You try to go buy a domain, they're like $10,000. You know what I mean? 20,000, whatever. This was $10. I was able to get this. Pretty happy about that. But you know, we'll see what happens. But my goal, I am going to focus on the Maine region when this comes out. I'm going to try to make this kind of like a way for Mainers in the state of Maine to have a way to buy and sell products, like replace Craigslist as a test market, have people using it. And I really think that this is going to be effective because it's going to be safe. When you buy something on BidJunkie, you'll be able to buy an item that somebody sold, and you'll be able to get immediate, like an immediate map. Like if they selected that it is for pickup and they gave like an address where you had to pick it up, it will take you there like an Uber delivery app would. You could drive right to where the location is. And then when you get there, we know where you are. The app knows where you are. We could track the information of where you were. And when you get there and you arrive, if you see the item and you don't like the item, or it's damaged, or the guy lied about how the quality was, you just don't take the item, because he has to be able to take a photo of you holding the item, smiling like, and if he can't take that photo and submit it, then that means that he can't prove that you received the item. So if you leave at that moment and then you say, I went there and the baseball card was damaged. He said it was in mint, it was damaged, so I don't want to buy it. Okay, well, basically your money gets reverted back to you because it never went to them in the first place. It was an escrow with us. We would then send the money back to you, right? And then by being able to do that, you can now, if he tries to dispute it and try to pretend, no, they got it, they left with the card, well, prove it. Show us a photo of them holding up the card smiling. Because that's what you would need to be able to deliver to us, to be able to know the person was happy with the product. And if they can't deliver that, then it is what it is. And if a salesperson does that a multitude of times, where they sell something and they're lying about the quality of it, and people complain about that, and they get too many red flags, they get banned from the account. And on this app, you have to scan your face and match it with your identification. We're going to know who you are. And I don't care if people have a problem with that. Like at the end of the day, when you're selling items and buying and selling items, and you have people coming to your house to pick it up, there was a woman recently that went to go deliver an item and was stabbed to death from somebody who, for no reason, she went to meet on Craigslist. That's not going to happen here. At least, or if it does, we're going to know exactly where you were. We're going to know exactly who the individual was. And there is no way to get out from under that. This is going to be a far better, safer, and more secure way for people to be able to buy and sell items on a local level. That's the idea. That is the idea, and that's what we're building here. Okay, so it looks like we are, it did a bunch of stuff here. Now, let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and we're going to open up the command prompt. You guys are going to see this. This is the fun stuff. So we're going to open up the command prompt, find the folder, hit enter. Now we're in the folder. Oh, no, that's not. Wait a minute. What the fuck? Something happened here. Wait a minute. I think it was because there was a semicolon after it. Let's try that again. What? What the hell are you talking about? Um, Why is it not recognizing this folder location? That is really weird. So I'm going to tell it, for some reason, it's not recognizing that folder location. It might be giving me a shell command. Sometimes it thinks you're in shell, PowerShell, and it'll give you it was giving me a PowerShell command. That was the problem. Now that it knows I'm doing command prompt, it gave me the right code. So now we're going to go ahead and do it, and we're going to run dev. It's going to build it, and there it is. Starting, ready in 1, 3, 3, 2. And here we go. Houston, we have liftoff. It might actually already be up there. I'm actually going to pull up and let's just see if it's already up. Sometimes it's pretty quick. There it is. Look at that. Look at what it made. Absolutely insane. Oh my God. That's crazy. That is crazy, man. Holy shit. Now I'm going to say, whoops. Here we go. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell it, I don't like how this logo is in here like this. So I'm going to say, and it keeps mentioning the 207 local, which I did not want it to do. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tell it, just move this over here. I'm going to say, make the logo the whole image wide and get rid of anything saying 207 local. I'm going to go like that. And it's going to do it. Doing it right now in real time. And now that we've done that, we're going to I'm going to say, now give me the command prompt code again to deploy changes. There it is. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go over here to this notepad and I'm going to save this as bid junkie. And that way I don't need to ask it for that again. I should have did that the first time. But so now we can actually come over here and we can do this again. Paste anyway. Let me see something. I think we're going to actually need to open command prompt again. All right. And there we go. And hit the run dev. There we go. Now let's go back and refresh the changes. Here's the site. Look at it. Already did it in real time. Boom. Which I don't really like it like that either. But this is pretty crazy. Make offer. Buy now. Great listing. It's a good starting place. This is a very good starting place. So, anyways, um, we could go ahead and we could stop here. And I will uh I will continue it tomorrow. And we're gonna get ahead and we're gonna do this together. We're gonna build the next best site that is going to destroy Craigslist. All right. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and log off. I've got to go play Crimson Desert. I have a gaming channel, so I've got to go and talk about that. But anyways, I appreciate you guys popping in, including you, Roman. Thank you for stopping in. You guys are always awesome. I appreciate it when you stop in. So you guys have a good one.